Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. I am your host, Anjindra bint Anjindra bint Violet bint Akatosh, the first of my line. I bring to you everything that is awesome in gaming. You have found what to play next. This is out of Transylvania. I found you a Transylvanian computer gaming company. They started out as an animation company. Great group of guys, 3 core members, and they had such a great attitude that I wound up following them. One of the reasons I'm in this line of work, gaming at all, is I helped,
Read all about it, sir. Hurricane Herbert, storm of the century.
A storm. That's the least of my worries.
in the industry when I was younger, so I've always done this, and I love, finding it.
Everything's changing. Always changing. What's a Joe supposed to do? You take a new case, and it's all you can do to be prepared for whatever it throws your way. The only thing you can know is whatever it's tossed at you won't make any kind of sense butt up against the last thing. It's the change, you see. I've been hired to locate some kind of ancient book. Supposed to have inside of it the kind of stuff makes a Joe's guts turn salt and sallow. Real type mystical mumbo jumbo, which I guess explains the weirdo cults popping up all over Darkham. You know something's left of center when the folks hiring you want to keep themselves all secret-like.
Transylvania.
Cash is cash, though, and
Darkham
I could really use the milk. That's something doesn't change. Put some weight on my man in rare and forbiddens. The kind of pressure makes a Joe's stomach jackflip, and he points me at this dark and ancient library. Dark and ancient? Huh. What's not dark and ancient in Darkham? Damn. Most times, the new is just as bad as the old. Sometimes worse.
So anyways, Moldova, I think that's how you pronounce that, in that region is, obviously in media, because the Princess and the Frog, she got married to the Moldovan prince. So, that was big in Disney, and then my grandmother's from
Miskatonic Library.
So.
Not the friendliest place in town. And this town and Friendly ain't even in the same zip code.
I was waiting 2 years for this to come out, and I finally did. And then I actually managed to catch it. Sometimes I'm such a girl. I actually managed to catch it, on sale. Oh, and they started this new trend. I love this. I've been waiting for this because it used to be that you could look it up and you would talk in forums,
horrible
which was great.
hellhole. Never thought I'd stick around when I came here 23 years ago. She was local, young and unstable, and I was probably too much to handle. Then she left me with an empty bottle of 81 proof and a broken heart.
There's no
my
such
gut
thing as
instinct
81
was telling me I could look at everything a second time, glean extra information that might be useful, or not.
So this is kind of the landscape there, and they wanted to share their culture, and they were an animation company, so they figured they could do it. But for instance, integrating voice acting and so on took a whole lot more. So a lot of us, since we liked the idea, were really supportive on Facebook groups, which we're trying to develop because Reddit is kind of the dark side. It's like the FPS of, forums.
Not nearly as badly lit as the name would suggest, but more than compensating on the creepy scale.
And then you get cool memes and everything that you like too. So they had a really good environment. They did wind up releasing the game and it looks really cool. The demo was incredible. I love the protag. He's so my type.
Surprisingly colorful here and there, but I didn't let that fool me. The town had been bubbling with occult activity for a while, and I was about to look deep into it.
They keep telling me to do that. Let's see here.
Looks like some kind of gargoyle, swallowed almost whole by those dead vines.
Alrighty, so what do we got here? We got more crazy vines, even more Darkham.
They really have a vegetation problem out here.
Le Lagoon? Actually, they speak the Cyrillic alphabet.
Shining down on the horrid husk of a town that is Darkham.
I think that, linguists, people in communications have a couple theories, and one of them is that the migration of the Gypsies stopped at Romania, and they were tended vampires and so on in mythology. That's one of the things you track, so.
Like a sea of ugly, decrepit, tile-covered
that
whales.
changeover might have had to do with that because, then it happens again where Arabic changes over into Hindi. And you have a different mythology.
There's tiny graffiti on it.
Christian.
Stay in school. I guess it's an advice column.
Let's go into the library. It looks like a cursed library. I've been to a couple different really old libraries and then I explored even more on the internet. This one is really unique, so I was like I said, they brought a lot of color to it, which was cool because they were animated.
They really went out of their way to make this place as creepy as possible. Rows and rows of moldy old books. For some reason, they seem particularly unattractive.
This is so... I know with the cleft chin, I remember the era. So he is so...
That's where folks get strange, ancient diseases by flipping the wrong pages with their bare fingers. It's a dusty old book. Its title's really hard to read.
That kills me when, I can see where they gapped it. Because, I would have where he would have wiped off the book, and that's clearly in their head, but then it doesn't go into the script. So it's interesting when you start playing.
It's the popular book section. Apparently, all Daniel Maroon novels, Vatican mysteries and all that. It's like that strange, tentacled beast is watching me.
Oh, this is a Cthulhu-based mythology. So they decided not to do the vampire thing, which was tragic, but they did have, as a dark backdrop, so it was, still super cool when I played through it. The beta, anyway.
If my detective cylinders aren't misfiring, that's gotta be the librarian.
And then this is your protag.
Who would grab and stick to this kind of job in this kind of place? They must have fishhooked them. Free internet'll do that to a Joe.
You actually need a degree to be a librarian. I didn't know that. They're that deeply, they're that much of a part of the American educational system.
Evening.
Good evening, sir.
Kind of research and equivalencies. Not everybody does.
So, how's things in the library business?
Can't complain. It's a living.
Those electronic books hitting you folks hard these days?
Nah, not really. People don't tend to read much at all anymore, so it's all the same to us.
They kind of rocked the boat with universities a little bit. I think they would have done something different with colleges.
Interesting library you got here. Is it old?
Yeah, pretty old.
It's old, huh? How old?
Really, really old. You might even say it's ancient.
Ancient, huh? How ancient?
It was established by one Jeremiah Orne in, 18... A really, really long time ago.
Huh. Thanks for the info.
Sure.
The name's Ktype. Don Archetype. Here to see about a book.
Well, you've come to the right place.
Yeah. It's called the Necronomicon. Do you have it?
Oh, that book. Yeah. Let me check. Yeah, they're all lent. All versions of it.
There's more than one?
Why, sure. You've got your, Oh, wait. You're talking about the real Necronomicon, aren't you? Yeah, no, sorry. That doesn't actually exist.
Doesn't exist, huh? My employer seems to think otherwise.
An ancient grimoire full of arcane writings that could summon powerful demonic entities and potentially fold reality onto itself? We don't really carry that kind of stuff here. Chances are, it's nothing but a myth, Mr. Ktype.
So really cool. They knew to stick to tropes because, obviously they were developing as a company and they would be able to keep pace that way, which is awesome. Because, they would be able to tell H.P. Lovecraft's story all over again, and he's encouraged us
You, wouldn't happen to be intentionally trying to conceal it from me, would you?
I'm just a librarian, sir. As far as I know, the real Necronomicon is a myth. Sorry to disappoint you. You haven't been the first to come and ask about it, and you probably won't be the last. Definitely our most popular and existent book.
Who else has been interested in it?
Everyone, from excitable teenagers to these freaky cultist types that seem to crop up everywhere in the last few months. And just...
Clippy there for a second.
What can you tell me about these cultists?
They come in all shapes and sizes, can't really tell them apart. I mean, it's not like they waltz in here dressed up in ceremonial robes or anything, but you can tell from the way they speak they're not all there.
No such thing as the Necronomicon, you say? Mind if I, snoop around your collections a little while?
I don't mind personally. You'd have to talk to Mr. Orne about the rare books department, though. At the moment, he's really busy with some new arrivals upstairs, so you'd have to wait a while. But, sir, waste of time, really. That book is just a legend. An ugly, ugly legend.
Aren't you a bit young to be a librarian?
Look, I can tell you come from a different era, but between you and me, that's straight up ageist.
Oh, really? And that, different era business ain't?
Touché, Mr. Katype. I'm a student, it's a job, it's quiet, it pays the bills.
Aren't you a bit too old to be a student?
I like the cut of your jib. That's something your type would say, right?
My type? Now look here, son.
There it is again.
I didn't catch your name, Mr.
Kerwin. Buzz Kerwin.
That's an interesting surname, and an accent that I can't quite place.
Yeah, I'm half Romanian. My mom was born in Transylvania. I kept her family name because it sounds cool, you know?
Never get teased because of that?
No. For Buzz, on the other hand, plenty.
All right, Mr. Kerwin. I guess I'll have to wait.
Double-click screen to exit arrows into They have the teleportation pits too? Home City claimed we had those. Not. I'm trying to find these teleportation pits.
There's a thing on the doorstep there. Looks like a package.
The thing on the doorstep. Sources hint at the Necronomicon hiding in plain sight inside the Miskatonic Library. How plain that sight is remains to be seen. Hit the thingy.
It ain't for my nose, but I could pass it on to the librarian.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go back into the... There was a logistical thing where I understood they were trying to work out adventure gaming, and that's kind of what I brought up before. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it here. I think that this is like a really good preview to get you interested in the game and so on. If you like that sort of stained glass art or that sort of thing, this is an incredible game for it because it has those beautiful hand illustrated designs and so on. And then they really took the time and you can help indie develop and so on. So I am Anjindra. This is what to play next. We love you guys. Thank you for coming along for the ride. In the description below, you can get Gamer Grind coffee delivered to your door. We do also have merch there. So if you love Pirate Queens, if you are a Pirate Queen, if you just want to flaunt the fact that you will always be looking for what to play next, then that is down there as well. You can just have one of the mugs or something. We love having you along for the ride. You guys are awesome. Subscribe, like, comment, make this chick smile, and we will see you in the next video. There's also a link for the game. Play along with us.